Hi, everybody. I'm Lindsay Zilli, the Director of Professional Learning for Illinois Digital Educators Alliance, and this is your September edition of your unboxing. So what you should have already received from me is the Building Culture and Community one-pager. I want to kind of break it down for you and make sure that you understand all of the little details of everything. But should you have any other questions at any point, please don't hesitate to reach out. So let's start here with this unpacking the big idea section. Here, there will always be pretty much the same little blurb, but when you click in that section, you'll be brought to a Culture of Learning slide deck. And what I've done is aligned the slide deck to the ISTE educator standards based on our theme of building culture and community. I think it's just best practice to use the ISTE standards to kind of drive our instruction. And so that's something that I've become has become a habit for me. And so you can utilize those standards as you see fit as well. The first piece is this video clip, which I'm sure many of you have seen. But in addition to the video clip itself, I've also included in the comment section down here some talking points. Certainly not something you have to use, but again, you're not starting from scratch. You have something to kind of facilitate that conversation with your chapter members. The next part of the slide deck is an activity utilizing Google Keep. So it's a one and done sort of activity, asking your educators to commit to, in writing, what they think makes great learning. I think a lot of times when we go in and observe classrooms, we're looking for the wrong things. So it's important that we put into perspective really what is great learning. And utilizing Google Keep is a great example of this. There are tons of Google Keep header templates that I found that are really creative and helps keep everything really well organized. So that's just a meaningful, quick activity. Building on that activity is another activity called Verbit. So using a tool called Slido to actually create a word cloud or poll your learners or ask questions about what they think great learning is all about. And the nice feature is that we have the premium account of Slido. So if you utilize your IDEAIllinois.org web username, you will have this Slido add-on automatically added to your Google Slides. It's something that could also be used separately from Google Slides. And it's, as I said, a word cloud generator. It polls your audience. It asks questions. So it's just a nice tool to be able to mix it up a little bit. From there, you are given an activity to help create a mission statement. So really building those class norms and those mission statements to create a one-line definition of what great learning is. And that's how you really embed that idea of community and building culture throughout your entire school year. I've also created a vision board lesson plan. So this is already done and made for you. It's something that you can print out, email out, post wherever you'd like for your users to use, your membership to utilize, and the plan is already outlined for you. So again, you're not starting from scratch. The next resource is a s'more that I created on embracing social emotional learning for both teachers and students. I think many times we focus on the student aspect of social emotional learning, and it's just as important to focus on our educators as well. So if you're not familiar with s'more, it is a really nice, clean newsletter type tool. It archives all of your creations in kind of a one-stop shop and also gives you some analytics. So you can see how many times people have clicked on your s'more and looked at it, for how long. So you're kind of getting some feedback. Is it worth your time to create these, whatever it is that you're creating? So I like using s'more. I use the free version, and it works really well for me. So you can click on either the comment section or this click here button, and you can find that s'more as well. There's some podcasts that are outlined on the s'more for teachers to use. There's some books, there's some quotes and memes, some quizzes, just some fun things to help keep in mind that a teacher's social emotional state as they're teaching throughout the year. The next tab has 2 resources, one on resilience and building resilient students, and the second on perspective. And for that activity, I like to use the picture book called Zoom. There's 2 versions, Zoom and Rezoom, which is a little bit more challenging. But essentially what you do is you take apart the book, and one page is a full picture. And every person gets one page, and they cannot show it to anybody else. They then have to articulate to the group what's on their picture and then kind of see where they fit in. So what's nice to see is that communication and collaboration is really tested here, but what you think you see and what you think you know is challenged as well. So the first picture is kind of the zoomed in version of a red blob. And from there, it's kind of, what's next. But as you're starting to have those conversations with each other, you see exactly where you fit in. And in the end, the picture becomes something totally different than what you originally thought it would be, which speaks to how important your piece is in making that larger picture, but that we also need that vertical articulation where we can see what's going on before students come to us and what's going on after students leave us. So I love this activity. You can find the book Zoom on Amazon. It's about $10 and it's definitely worth the price. I mount the pictures on black cardstock and then laminate them, and then I allow teachers to check them out to use with students. I've used this activity with teachers, but I've also used it with administrators as well. The next activity is called Puzzle Chow Mingle, and it's a really fun activity to help build community. It's low budget. It involves chopsticks, a puzzle, and a blindfold if you're not trusting your members. But we ask learners to get in groups of 3 or 4 and decide which role they would like to take on. Do they want to be Chopstick Suey, the person who can see and speak but can only use chopsticks to assemble a puzzle? Do they want to be the Mongolian blindfold? They can see, they can speak and touch the puzzle, but they cannot see. So they're either blindfolded or their eyes are closed, but they're the only ones who can touch the puzzle with their hand. Or do you want to be the sensei, the person who can speak and see, but they can't touch anything at all? They're the one that gets that back cover of the puzzle and sees what the big picture is going to be and has to articulate to their group what's going on in the picture. It's really nice to see that communication, but it speaks a lot to accessibility features, group work, playing to people's strengths, but also accommodating other people's obstacles. And it's nice to put yourself physically in a position that doesn't allow you to just take ownership and take over a process. You need that team in order to be successful. And then finally, the last slide is a variety of picture books that you can use. I've linked a summary and a link to where the books can be purchased on the slide. And I think regardless of what age you are, picture books really do make a difference, whether it's in the primary classroom or in high school. Everybody loves to be read to. So Westlandia, One, Be Where Your Feet Are, and The Invisible Boy really help build the sense of community and facilitate that conversation with your students. So my goal in preparing this slide deck for you is for you to utilize it in ways that are meaningful for your chapters, your membership, your learners. So if you want to recreate anything, edit it, share it as is, you're more than welcome to do so. So that is our first component of our one-pager. The next one, we're going to shift over to tools and resources. And I'm especially excited about this one because it was created for members by members. It's bite-sized innovations for you busy chapter leaders so that you can get a taste of professional learning in quick, meaningful minutes. We know that technology is not universal and that some people have access to different types of technology tools. So our goal in creating this website is to house not only our monthly one-pagers, but also give you a snapshot of how you can be utilizing different technology tools based on our monthly themes. So if you navigate to the Orchard, you will see that Amanda has created a template in Pages for learners to learn about culture and community. If you don't have Pages and you still want to utilize this tool, there's also a PDF version. So it's a really nice opportunity for anybody to utilize her lesson. So Amanda is an instructional technology coach, an Apple Distinguished Educator, and an Apple Educator Trainer. So we're very fortunate enough to have her help create this sense of culture and community and share this template that you can click on and use with your students. And don't hesitate to reach out to Amanda. Her contact information is there. She's a great follow on Twitter as well. The nice thing about this website is as we start curating resources and adding to it, there is a glossary embedded at the top. So if you wanted to ever come back to Amanda's resources, you can click on her name or the title of the monthly theme and resource. And so that way you're not hunting, you're saving that time and using your time wisely. The next tool is in our Google Grove, and Julie Powell was responsible for creating this resource for us. And she is utilizing Google Forms in meaningful ways to build culture and community. So what Julie has done is she's created a s'more and embedded her different forms within that s'more. So once you click and open up the PDF, you'll see that she has added links to each of the forms as well as explanations. So in addition to having those forms available for you to use in your classrooms, so this daily warm-up check-in, if you click here, it'll force you to make a copy and now you have your own. So you can edit it as you see fit. You can add a different header, you can add different questions, and then you get the analytics. You get the data that goes with it. There's also an anonymous class incident report, as well as project feedback. So you're not recreating the wheel, you're seeing what's working in other people's classrooms, and you're able to better get familiar with these Google tools and not starting from scratch. So Julie is incredible when it comes to STEM education, and she's a Google certified educator, instructional technology coach. She's also an Apple Educator Trainer as well. So if you have any Google or Apple questions, Julie's contact information is here for you. And then our third resource tab is called Microsoft Moments. And we are incredibly fortunate to have Colleen Kaplan, a Microsoft guru, share this really amazing tip. So how to use Microsoft Translator to not only build community amongst your learners, but also your learners' families. So this infographic is a great opportunity for teachers to use in the classroom, but also to share with parents so that they can see that they're really a part of the conversation just as much. So you can click on this infographic here and have a copy of it to print, to embed on your website, to share out any way you see fit. And again, Colleen is an invaluable resource that we are so lucky to have. She's a Microsoft expert in all things Microsoft, and her contact information is here at the bottom as well. So all three are willing to help facilitate the conversation, help you with Microsoft, Google, or Apple. But we're always looking for educators each month to be the spotlight educator or the featured teacher of the month. So if you have something Apple, Google, or Microsoft related that you want to share and showcase, please let me know and I'd be happy to feature you. Our next month's theme is digital citizenship. And then the month of November, we are working on coding. So if you have something to share, please do. Going back to our one-pager, if you take a look here at our little speech bubble, this is where we're going to always have our ISTE Cert chat. So we currently are an ISTE certified approved provider and kind of for the Midwest region, but we want to give you a little snapshot every month about what we're doing with our cohorts. And Michelle O'Connor is a current member of a class right now, and she said a really powerful thing to her peers, and it just really resonated with them and with me, and I think it spoke to our theme of culture and community. And what she said was, as a society, I think we need to assure these young people that they should not hide behind a device, but rather create relationships with people. And it's so important that we build those relationships first and continue to build them throughout the entire year and not just beginning of the year icebreaker. So every month I would like to share an ISTE quote with you so that you kind of see what's going on with our cohorts. You can speak a little bit more, feel a little bit more confident talking about this ISTE certification program. if ever asked about it. And then finally, our last resource on this page is our website. So each of you will get a page on here to share and showcase what's going on in your region. Our events are listed here with our upcoming partners, IDEACon, all things about our conference, and Tech 20XX. And then if you go to the Learn tab, these are all of our partnerships with different organizations. If we go to the Bird Brain Technologies one, which many of you experienced a few weeks ago, we've embedded a forum. And what's nice about that is it's all about creative robotics. So it's an open forum to anybody who's doing robotics in their classroom, so that conversation doesn't end at the professional development training. So Kelsey Derringer, who is our contact at BirdBrain, is kind of facilitating that conversation, but we welcome all of you to contribute to that forum and add your thoughts, add things that are working, add questions, and that way you have that support that's ongoing and not just when you're there in that training. We also have that for our ISTE certification program. However, this one is private to our ISTE cert members, so that they have an opportunity to showcase their portfolio prior to it being reviewed. Our website has tons of information that is useful for both you and your membership, so please don't hesitate to share this out. The next tool that I wanted to share with you is our IDEA events menu. So I've kind of curated everything that's been working for us, whether it's workshops with partners, bite-sized professional learning with our Wednesday webinars, our Twitter chats that we've now paired up with IDEAil EdChat on Tuesdays. We're creating an Amplifying Teaching and Learning online course, a Playful Learning online course, and those are in partnerships with Otis and Zach Gilbert, who is a guru of gamification. We have some Applied Digital Skills Google trainings available, Apple Educator trainings, and of course this monthly subscription series. But then I wanted to also share with you some tried and true methods of social events. So these are just some other opportunities that you can plan for, whether it's a Twitter chat, a share-a-rama, a board game night, ways that you can make your events more social and more impactful and more marketable to your membership. So what I've started to kind of create in addition to support all of these ideas is this menu of events slide deck. So within the slide deck is not only the type of event listed, but how it could be successful. So there's the rundown of ways that you can showcase podcasting at your next event, tools to try, and experts that you can refer to. Sometimes those experts are partners, sometimes they're websites, and sometimes they're actually people that you can reach out to. So if you wanted to organize a play date with Brookfield Zoo, here's your contact information of the expert that you can organize all of those fun ideas with. Sometimes, though, the experts are digital resources. So I've shared some presentations with you that have worked in the past regarding Twitter chats or various other activities. And many times you'll find that some of our chapter leaders who have been in the game for a while are also the experts because they know the obstacles that you need to overcome. They know how to be most successful with these events. So this is a work in progress right now, but it is something that I think will be helpful when you're planning your upcoming events. And speaking of planning upcoming events, please don't forget to fill out the event request form. It can be found on our chapterleaders.ideaillinois.org website or chapterleaders.iceberg.org website. Both take you to the same place. And this is how we can support your event. We can market your event. We can provide the professional development hours for it. And we can give you your every support that you need so that your event is successful. So that is your Building Culture and Community September edition rundown. Thanks for joining.